Here's a shocking reality. After working for decades and faithfully contributing to Social Security, millions of American seniors are still getting hit with federal taxes on the very benefits they earned through their own hard work. But now, a bold new proposal could change everything. Senator Ruben Gallego from Arizona just dropped a legislative bombshell on Thursday with his You Earn It, You Keep It Act. A bill designed to completely wipe out federal taxes on Social Security benefits for every single beneficiary. This isn't just another political talking point. It's a direct challenge to a system that many argue has been unfairly penalizing retirees for far too long. But here's where it gets controversial. While President Trump's recent Big Beautiful Bill offered some tax relief to certain Social Security recipients, critics argue it was merely a Band-Aid solution that left the core problem untouched. Gallego's legislation, however, takes a dramatically different approach that could spark intense debate about fairness, fiscal responsibility, and who should really bear the tax burden in America. The Arizona Democrat isn't just proposing to eliminate these taxes, he's also suggesting a complete overhaul of who pays into the Social Security system. His bill would extend Social Security payroll taxes to annual earnings exceeding $250,000. A massive jump from the current cap of $176,100 in 2025. This means wealthy Americans who currently stop contributing to Social Security partway through the year would suddenly find themselves paying in for their entire annual income. Despite decades of paying into the system, seniors are still forced to pay taxes on their hard-earned benefits, all while the ultra-wealthy barely pay into the system. Gallego declared in his official statement, pulling no punches about the current system's perceived inequities. And this is the part most people miss. The way Social Security benefits get taxed is actually quite complex and catches many retirees off guard. The Internal Revenue Service uses something called combined income to determine tax liability, a calculation that adds together your adjusted gross income, any tax-exempt interest you might have earned, plus exactly half of your Social Security benefits. For individual taxpayers, if this combined income falls between $25,000 and $34,000, up to half of their Social Security benefits become subject to federal income tax. For married couples filing jointly, that range shifts to between $32,000 and $44,000. But here's the kicker. If your combined income exceeds $34,000 as an individual or $44,000 as a couple, suddenly up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed. Many retirees discover this harsh reality only after they've already started receiving benefits. Now, the Republican-backed Big Beautiful tax law that recently passed does offer some relief, but it's far from the comprehensive solution many seniors have been hoping for. Adults who are 65 or older can now claim an additional deduction of up to $6,000, but there's a catch. This benefit phases out for individuals earning more than $75,000 or married couples earning more than $150,000 in modified adjusted gross income. Plus, this deduction is only temporary, lasting through tax years 2025 to 2028. Tax experts point out that this approach primarily benefits middle-income earners, since lower-income seniors might already be exempt from federal taxes on their benefits, while higher earners could find themselves above the income thresholds where the deduction disappears entirely. But here's where Gallego's proposal becomes truly fascinating and potentially explosive. Unlike the temporary nature of the Republican solution, his You Earn It, You Keep It Act would permanently eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits for absolutely everyone, regardless of income level. No phase-outs, no temporary provisions, no complex calculations, just a clean slate. The Senior Citizens League, a nonpartisan advocacy organization, has thrown their full support behind this approach. with Executive Director Shannon Benton calling the elimination of federal taxes on Social Security benefits a common-sense step to ensure older Americans can keep more of what they've earned. But critics might argue that common sense doesn't always align with fiscal reality. And this brings us to the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about. Social Security is already facing a financial crisis. The program's trust fund is projected to face a significant shortfall within the next decade, and without congressional intervention, benefits could be reduced for all recipients. The Republican Big Beautiful Law, because it didn't include any revenue offsets to compensate for reduced tax collections, actually accelerates the timeline toward this financial cliff, according to analysis by the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. Here's where Gallego's proposal gets really interesting, and where the controversy truly heats up. His office claims that by expanding the payroll tax base to include high earners, the You Earn It, You Keep It Act would actually extend Social Security's ability to pay full benefits until 2058. Giving the program an additional 24 years of solvency. This projection aligns with analysis conducted by Social Security's chief actuary on the House version of this bill, introduced by Representative Angie Craig from Minnesota back in April. But let's be honest about what this really means. Gallego is essentially proposing to eliminate taxes for current Social Security recipients while dramatically increasing them for high-income workers who are still contributing to the system. Is this a long overdue correction to an unfair system, or is it simply shifting the tax burden from one group to another? The timing of this proposal raises even more questions. With Social Security's financial challenges looming large and political tensions running high around tax policy, will Congress have the appetite for such a dramatic restructuring? And more importantly, is it fair to ask wealthy Americans to shoulder a disproportionate burden to fund benefits for current retirees, especially when those same high earners will presumably want their own full benefits when they retire? Here's the question that should keep everyone awake at night. If we're serious about making Social Security sustainable for future generations, should we be eliminating revenue sources or finding ways to increase them? Gallego's bill attempts to do both simultaneously, but will the math actually work out in the long run? What do you think? Is this proposed legislation a fair solution that finally gives seniors the retirement security they deserve? Or is it an unrealistic promise that shifts financial responsibility without addressing the program's fundamental challenges? Should wealthy Americans pay Social Security taxes on their entire income, or does the current cap serve an important purpose? Most importantly, can we really solve Social Security's problems by eliminating taxes for some while raising them for others, or are we just kicking the can down the road for future generations to handle? Share your thoughts, because this debate is far from over, and your voice matters in shaping the future of America's most important social safety net.